I want them to be moved, and I want them to know that this is, this is the story kind of behind, the story of the intelligence community finding this man. And these are incredibly brave individuals.
They wanted to show the history as it was, and that included some really difficult moments in America's history, but to, like intense interrogations, but to exclude that from the film would have been lying in a way. It would have been like a watered down Hollywood version of the film.
I love The Hurt Locker, and to me, what made that movie great was it was a very human, naturalistic, documentary style approach to the thriller genre, right? And there's a lot of respect there. So that's what I hoped for this movie, and that's what I expected, and I think it delivers.
I want to make something absolutely clear. If you thought there was some working group coming to the rescue, well, I want you to know that you're wrong.
So there are all these Oscar rumors for the movie and for...
Oh, really?
So are you ready for the Oscar campaign, or what's going on?
I'm ready to sell this film, to introduce people to this film, and I'm ready for wherever this film takes me. I mean, it's been an amazing ride since day one. Since I first got cast, to we went to Jordan and India and London, to me sitting in the room with a Spaniard who loves Barcelona. I'm ready for wherever it wants to take me.
I think, well, first of all, the material was so inspiring and so galvanizing, and I wanted to put the audience into the center of this particular hunt, so you feel not just that you're watching it, but you're inside it. So I think that sort of immediacy creates, I suppose, a kind of tension that is good for a story that's so realistic.
If you're right, the whole world's gonna win in on this.
I think everyone's going to take away something different, whatever it means to them the last decade and what the country's gone through. It is entertainment, but it's something more. It'll mean something a little bit different to everyone. It's a hell of a movie is what it is.
The SEALs don't need this movie to be made, don't want it to be made. They do what they do because movies are going to be made about them, but they do it because someone has to do it.
It feels actually fairly surreal, because it's all of a sudden it's here, it's now, and it's thrilling. I mean, I'm both ecstatic and honored at the same time.
He is one of the disappeared ones.
Excited to be asked because I'd never done an animated film before and I'd always wanted to. And then, then I got this script and I found out who was involved in making it, and I just felt really lucky.
It's amazing, and not only for me, but I think everyone that worked on this. It's taken over 15 years for everyone else to do it, and for me only 2 years. So I think that we're all very excited to see this done.
Gotta use your gift of talking to the dead to stop it.
This is crazy.
Do I look crazy to you?
You might want to give that a few minutes.
It's a fun roller coaster ride, I mean, we really want people to just be entertained with it. But, you're going to come away and maybe think a little bit about, judging a book by its cover.
They do great work, and I was given all these materials to look over, and I thought this movie's going to be fantastic.
Oh yeah, I got you. Ow! This is getting completely out of hand. Is he dead or what?
Accept the things that make you different, and it usually winds up being the thing that is special about you.
I saw what he was like. I kind of saw his personality in his photo of himself, and I just based what I thought Neil would be like.
The universal message, there's so many there. It's face your fears. If you're bullied, stay true to who you are and you'll become the hero. And courage and bravery.
I think it's, about finding the thing that makes you different, or the thing that you're uncomfortable with about yourself, and turning it into an asset and making it something special.
There's nothing wrong with being scared, Norman. So long as you don't let it change who you are.
Hey, we're closed. When you first meet her, she's 19. She's at school. She's planning to become a lawyer.
Get my car! Now! Go!
She ends up witnessing her mother's murder. She is saved by this creature. She's like, what is this thing? She, talks about it. People say she's crazy. And she starts to think that she is, that it was just PTSD and she made something up. In that moment, she decides that she's going to take more control over her life and becomes a detective. She makes sure that she will never be a victim.
911 got a call off the cell at 8:32 tonight, no recording. The socialite gets murdered, and we get this print, and we can't find him.
Guy's name's Vincent Keller, killed in Afghanistan by enemy fire 2002.
So how do a dead guy's prints end up on a fashion editor's buttons?
She starts to go on her own to try and figure this whole thing out, and eventually comes across this guy.
I play Vincent Keller. His brothers are lost in 9/11. So he joins the army and becomes part of an experiment to create these super soldiers. And the experiment goes awry. They end up with these uncontrollable beasts. Anytime our adrenaline kicked in, we became monsters. Vincent escapes and sort of lands back in New York City.
If Catherine Chandler starts asking questions, alerting Muirfield that you're alive, we're both dead men.
Vincent is ready to give up. He's been trying to work on this cure to regain his humanity for the last 10 years with JT, to no avail. When Catherine comes in, she gives him that glimmer of hope again.
When they look at each other, there's just something undefinable.
Something that is just one of those kind of chemical reactions that two people can have.
There you are. I've been calling and calling you. She knows something is going on. You've been having secret conversations. You executed that search without me.
She can't tell anyone. It would put in jeopardy her whole quest to figure out what happened to her mom and also to keep Vincent safe.
Vincent, you're not a monster. You saved my life.
The romance element of the show is a huge part, and a huge part of what Beauty and the Beast has always been, I think. Our version of Beauty and the Beast is new and fresh, and no one's ever taken this sort of angle on the story before, so we've got this kind of wide open canvas to play with.
Being in London for the launch, for the world premiere of Les Mis is really fantastic because I know it's a quintessentially French story from a great French novel, but really the spiritual home of this musical is London. This is where it really took hold, and from here went out to the rest of the world.
It's a grand story, it's a huge tale, it's an epic experience. You can probably expect to go through a couple of tissues, because it's not always, happy in this fairy tale.
Help me, please, I have a child! So different from this hell I'm living, so different now from what is here.
At this point in my life, I know not to count my chickens before they're hatched. So I'm hearing the buzz that's going on. I'm hearing all the lovely, wonderful, deeply flattering things people are saying about the film and about me. But I can't really connect with it until I know whether or not I'm nominated for anything. And then after that, I think I'll let myself go there. But until then, it's just, there's nothing real.
As an actor, as a person, it's something you can't buy into that world. It's completely out of your control. But when I hear the movie itself as a possibility to be recognized, I think it's gratifying.
You can't make movies to get awards. You have to make movies for an entirely different reason. Plus, I don't really get the awards anymore. I don't get it. Like, I don't understand sometimes why, what's so unbelievably important about them. But I do like to celebrate really good actors, and I like to celebrate really good work. And as long as that's happening, then I think it's worth it to keep that going, that tradition going.
To the barricades!
I think it's the way it makes people feel. I think it has storylines that affect everyone from a teenager to a parent sort of obsessive policeman, Javert. And so there's so many entry points in. Even kids can connect to the Cosette and Gavroche's storylines, and it's the way it makes people feel, it's the way the music makes people feel.
I don't think anybody believed Tom Hooper when he said, oh, we're going to sing every take live. It's not that they didn't hear him. They just didn't necessarily believe that would be true, because that's an extremely difficult thing to do on a film set with all the extraneous noises and what have you. But that's what we did.
I don't think the story should be told without the music. And I also think the story just is timeless. I think it resonates in every culture, in every society, in every era.
I got offered the part, and I took it. It turned out they were not paying me, but I thought it was worth it anyway. I needed the career break, and this is it. I'm here. It's a real tour de force. Plus, I got the chance to act alongside Wolverine.
Les Mis is one of the greatest musicals ever written. It's why it's been around 27 years. From one of the greatest stories ever written. And I've been a fan of it since I was 18, and I just thank God they waited 27 years. Otherwise, I would have been a very young-faced Valjean.
wanted to just show what the human side of it, like what happens to these communities when these type of decisions, you know, have to get made, and that was a good issue because natural gas was a good issue because it's so polarizing and people feel so strongly about it, and the stakes are so incredibly high that it was a perfect place to set a movie about American identity and where we are and where we find ourselves right now. You sign this lease, it gives us the right to drill on your land. A whole lot of money down there. That is true. How much you think?
There's no reason your town shouldn't have a state-of-the-art high school.
What kind of money are you talking about? You could be a millionaire.
Hopefully they'll take away, they'll realize the importance that the decisions we make as a community affect us as individuals, and the individuals' decisions affect the community, and we have to make those decisions together and not let legislators somewhere decide our fate and our future, and that our voices should be heard.
The challenge was because it's a serious movie and how to kind of do something interesting and yet not overwhelm the story, which is very simple, and get into Gus's head.
Hydrofracking is a serious issue in our country right now, and they are, you know, they're on a full-scale attack to try to get into all these little communities that are hurting from the economy, and they think it's a quick fix, and it's, you know, it's a long-term deadly fix. And I think to make a film about it is really important. I think it'll educate people.
I think it's good because I think it gets people into the theaters that maybe wouldn't get there without that extra bump. You know what I mean? People, the audiences have to find their movies that they love, and I guess awards and recognition help them do that.
This town, this life, it's dying. You all see it coming and you just don't get out of the way. We're not fighting for land, Steve. We're fighting for people.
You ain't ever gonna get what you came here to take from me. I don't even like the fact that you're here trying.
You're a good man, Steve. I just wish you weren't doing this.